And we are back from our break. So last we left off, we took a, you guys accepted a job from Mr. Brandyfoot to make an exploration further up the mountain to possibly find another entrance into the Sealberg mine. You had an interesting conversation with Mr. Gold, procured a little bit of extra gear, and you are currently on your way back to the Silver Thaggy to collect some of Marius's belongings that might come in use as you go to scale the mountain. So, are you heading straight to the Thaggy?
Yes.
Okay.
Aye.
So you leave Mr. Gold's. Yeah, you make a beeline for the Thaggy. It's easy. It's not very far from where you're at. Then again, Sealberg isn't exactly like a massive industrious town anyway. It takes you a couple minutes to traverse a couple blocks over to the Thaggy. The familiar entrance, the nice stone, very well crafted building, the nice firm, not shoddily built, weathered, lacquered oaken doors. You push them in. Marius, you can also read the sign. It actually says Silver Thaggy on the sign, which is nice. Yeah. In addition to the rat skull that's got like a hole in it, and the beer behind it, and all that, the emblem. You push your way into the building, and immediately greeted with, "Ah, Marius, my boy!"
Thordun!
Thordun is... He's behind the bar on his stool. There's a couple patrons. This is shortly after lunch. Looks like there's a few guys from the watch, actually. Might be the end of their shift, or maybe they're about to go on shift soon. There's a couple of them at the bar. There's one or two at a few tables. There's a few miners kind of just hanging out, getting a meal. You see Helga, Seamus, running around. She kind of gives you a wink. She kind of, with her, and she kind of, as she gives you a wink, she kind of pulls down her shirt a little bit, letting a little more cleavage spill out of her very short, rounded body. She's serving food. Sarah is not here from what you remember, Marius. She was given the day off, so she's probably upstairs.
Okay.
But you guys are free to do as you please. You enter. He calls out to you, Marius.
Yep. I called back to him. I said, "Look at my helmet, Thordun.
You look like a miner, boy, a miner!" And he's waving you over to the bar. He's excited.
I'm running over there. I'm excited too.
Exactly.
I wanna show my stuff.
He's like, yes, and this'll do, son. This'll do. Not Darwin craftsmanship, but it should protect you in a pinch.
I'm excited.
And
Is Sarah still upstairs?
Of course, manling, of course. The Lins, they need the rest. And he kind of just motions up there.
Seamus, wait here. I'm going to go get my stuff, and I'll be back shortly.
Okay, Marius, you make your way at a decent pace up the stairs, up to where your room is. As you go up there, Seamus, you approach the bar.
Yes, I'll approach the bar and say, Thordun, give me 2 of your finer ales here. We're gonna celebrate the boy getting his helmet.
Seamus, of course, my favorite customer. And he turns around behind him. He starts pouring out of one of the large, very, very large casks of ale that has been brought up. He begins pouring it, and he sets a very full glass in front of you. Some of the beer spills out over the top. The head is so tall. It's frothing.
I'm going to take a sip, and I'll wait for Marius. I'm going to start talking to Thordun.
Okay. Go ahead and take a sip. It's delicious. It is fantastic beer. It's very thick. It's got a just a hint of maybe some kind of citrus. You're not sure. There's definitely some wheat, some barley. I mean, we can go into hops and stuff if you want, but besides the point. So it's good beer. It's good beer regardless. And he's scrubbing a glass, and he's taking a few other orders. Got something on your mind, Mr. McCready?
Hi, we've taken a job from Bandyfoot. I know you've.
Aye, the bastard halfling. Aye, at least he gave old Marius a job, though. He need one.
Aye, he's sending us up the mountain to figure out what's going on with this cave-ins he's having.
Cave-ins, you
Don't
say?
have any information?
If a good Darby was running this mine, they wouldn't have no blasted cave-ins.
Rightfully so, Thordum, but, here we are.
It's sad these days. Sad, I tell you. And he just starts scrubbing his glass again. He seems like he's completely off track from what you asked him.
Thordum. Do you know anything about Brandyfoot?
Brandyfoot? Besides the fact he's a bastard halfling? Running a bloody mine? What else is there to know?
What kind of man is he, do you know? I don't want to be going on this mission he's sending us if it's just going to be a suicide.
You're just taking a mosey little trip up the mountain, Seamus.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
An infant could do this job.
Thordum.
I've done more jobs. Serious Darby work. With Neil a hair on me scrotum. More dangerous than this.
Thordum, you talk to your favorite customer like that. What the fuck is Marius?
And one of the other guards is kind of chuckling to himself, and he's something funny. And he kind of shakes his head. No. And at this moment upstairs, Marius, you get to the door. You open the door. Are you just like rushing in, or are you gonna slowly open the door?
I'll slowly open the door. I'm not an animal. I'm not
Okay.
Creep.
You slowly open the door, and you see Sarah. She is currently getting dressed. She's not fully clothed. She's like, Marius, just in time. She looks back at you over her shoulder. Could you lace this? And she's offering you to lace up the top of her dress.
I oblige.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You brush aside the blonde hair and kind of pour her the like very smooth porcelain skin she has as you caress over it and start lacing it up the top.
Oh boy.
She notices, as you walked in, she notices the garb.
The hat?
The hat. It's hard to miss. The hat and the new leather jerkin that you're wearing. It's definitely hard to miss. You left. You came back with more stuff, and you had no money, which to her is probably a little concerning. But I see the meeting with Brandyfoot went well.
It did, dear. It did. He gave Seamus and I a job. We're to go up to the mountain as soon as possible to see if there's any other entrances into the mine and possibly clear out any denizens that live inside.
Marius, do be careful. And she kind of, as you finish, she kind of brushes a hand across your cheek.
Of course, dear. I'm just here to collect my things, and say goodbye to you, of course, and then be on my way.
And as you do that, she nods. Well, if I know you'll be fine. I mean, you took the head of that beast. Surely a few goblins, no match for you. And she looks like she's getting a little worried at the prospect of you going up this mountain.
Don't worry, dear. Seamus will be there. and I just
And then
start
she rolls her
trying to gather
eyes
the
at the
things.
mention of Seamus. She's like, of course, of course. And she, what? Well, Marius, I did procure a few things for you. I figured something like this may happen.
Oh, you shouldn't have, dear.
And she hands you 2 vials. She slides them into your hand. You recognize the color immediately. Now,
You know me well, love.
indeed I do. And that's what I'm afraid of. She says, take these bandages, which it's the same bandages that you previously had. She just kind of like is reintroducing them to you. Please come back to me. And you have also received,
of course.
officially you've received 2 healing potions.
Yeah.
So, yes, you have 2 to do with as you will. She knows you well, especially the condition you often come back in. And it seems like she made a little extra money possibly in this past 6 months and has decided to invest it in your future.
Thanks.
So she does that. She pushes it to you. Well, if you need me, I'm going to be heading off to Father Lita, of all people. He asked to consult me on something.
Oh, Marlita. You'll have to tell me about it when I get back. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long.
Of course, my love. And she gives you a kiss on the cheek. And she begins to like powder her nose a little bit with a little bit of like makeup she can afford.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I gather my things and head on out.
You easily gather your things. Now, I do need to know, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you keep the scroll you picked up in the first episode?
I think I kind of keep it in my person.
Okay, so
in
do
my
you
knapsack.
keep it in like do you keep it in your knapsack at all times?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right next to my Bugman's Ale.
Got it. Right next to the Bugman's. Bugman's probably doesn't fit in the sack. It's probably like attached to you somehow. But yeah, regardless, you have it all. So you collect your things, kind of give Sarah a wink as you leave the door. Mm-hmm. You go downstairs. You see Seamus, who's almost like brooding at the bar at this point. Thordoom is in a great mood. He's just bellowing to everyone, the usual. So you guys lock eyes.
Seamus, I'm sorry it took me so long. Let's drink those beers.
How much time would you say has passed?
Just a few minutes. He wasn't up there long. 10, 15 minutes maybe.
Man, if you went any longer, I was about to drink yours. I'm almost done with mine.
And Thordoom approaches. I'm assuming you sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He approaches. Now he kind of slides the stool over. Hi, Marius! You look great. You look great. I can't get used to it. How are you paying for these? Now that you're an employed man, I mean, surely you can't live off your rin forever.
I pull out my little money pouch.
Okay.
Pay the man.
Thordoom from you, Seamus, he'll accept 4 copper.
All right, 4 copper it is. Slap on the counter.
Slap 4 copper over to him. Drink up, boys, drink up. And he starts moving to move to a customer at the end of the bar that's kind of flagging him down, wants something.
I down the beer.
It is delicious, though not as good as the Bugman's. You've been ruined. You've had the best.
I know.
This is good, no doubt. It's good, but just not quite that.
I can't drink Bugman's all the time. I'll just be hammered.
But you could. But yeah. Enough time has passed. You guys don't need to make like a check or anything. You can easily handle a beer or 2. I'm assuming how many do you guys have?
Just one.
I would probably
think.
think just the one.
Okay. Do you guys get up and leave, or are you going to ask some more questions?
Skip and
I'm
leave, I
ready
guess.
to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you both stand up. As you're leaving, Marius, you hear bellow out behind you. Good luck, my boy. Good luck.
Oh, I know Thornton. Hopefully it will be really quick. Brandyfoot mentioned something about some type of ratman, and then I close the door.
And then you hear, ah! You just hear this scream as a muffled scream. It's like, oh! as the door closes, and you hear like a commotion inside. Suddenly something's like smashed. And then you guys are on your way. Yeah, you missed out on what's going to transpire in there now.
I know. I want to do some chaos behind.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. So you guys have two. From what you've gathered so far, unless you want to ask around town some more, you have two paths open to you. Which would you like to attempt?
The game trail.
The game trail. Are we sure we don't want to scale the cliff?
No.
I do have Rocky Strider.
You have Rocky Strider.
But no, I'll probably go the game trail.
Okay. So you exit the town. You don't see Otto. He might be off, or he might be shift change, or maybe he's at he's doing the perimeter of the gate here. But you don't see him at the front gate. You see some fresh faces. Make your way out of town. The trail, which you know of, Seamus, you know a lot of the trails in and around town, just due to the nature of your job and just being a long-time citizen of Sealburg. The trail is not too far out of town. It's maybe half a mile or so, a couple minutes walk. You find it. It curves off to the left. It's a game trail. It is well traveled by people because it takes you close to the stream that Marius knows of, where his prospecting camp was originally set up all those months ago. But you begin traveling the trail. I'm going to need perception tests from whoever is in the lead, or you guys can both make them. It's up to you.
I guess I can be in the lead unless I can see over Marius. And
I mean, you're tall enough. You probably could, but you were hired to be the tracker. So
yeah, I'll take the lead.
okay.
Can
So
I
go
give
ahead.
him assistance on it?
You can assist him. You'll get a plus 10 to your perception test.
I'll assist him.
It's 10. Oh, good thing. Oh, I did get a crit though. I got a 52
That's not a crit.
out of what? I thought it was even numbers.
No.
No, it's
50. It's doubles.
Same numbers.
Doubles.
Oh, same
55,
numbers.
22,
Yeah.
33. Yeah.
But I got a 52 out of 61 with that plus 10.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you have. So it's a success. It's not a 1 degree of success.
Yep.
But you easily can pick out the trail, and you followed it to a certain extent. But then it starts it curves drastically to the left, back towards town, and it's starting the dense, not so dense, kind of sparse forest begins to start thinning out even more, and you're in almost like rocky, kind of hillish terrain, and there's still a path to follow, and you're following it decently. Probably about an hour passes with you doing this, and then it begins to be a more steeper incline. There's still a trail to follow, but the path is going further up the mountain, and there is almost no foliage anymore. There's very sparse trees here and there, and you're starting to see a lot of rocky outcroppings. You're not like hand over foot climbing, but it is going to be uphill. So I am going to need, from Marius, you have Rocky Strider?
I do.
No test required. I will need an endurance test from you, Mr. Seamus.
All right. Ooh, I'm going to burn a fortune point.
Yes! Burn it.
That was a terrible roll. Oh, this is much better. I got a 3.
Okay, yeah. So you easily you don't get winded. Marius is almost like a damn mountain goat behind you. As a matter of fact, he's having to slow up. But I mean, you're keeping pace though. You're still doing good. You're not used to climbing a damn mountain. You're mostly used to patrolling the woods, patrolling trails, things like that. This is not the norm for you, but you're doing fine. So you guys keep going this way for probably another hour or two. You're getting further up into the mountain, and this is the highest either of you have ever been. Marius, you haven't made a habit of scaling mountains, even though you're comfortable in this terrain. But do either of you have a fear of heights?
I don't believe so. I don't have it listed.
I don't believe
at least.
so.
Do you feel like you might?
Well, am I still under the effects of Bugman's Ale? It's 10 hours.
You would still technically be under it, no matter what. But just for
Okay.
future reference, do you think Marius is scared of heights?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But
And
yeah.
Mr. McCready only fears water, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I have
Okay.
down.
Okay. That's fine. So you're tall. You're really high up at this point, and you look down, and you guys can both see the town. You're above the town at this point, and you can see down, and it is small. It's almost funny how small and tiny it looks. You can actually still see people kind of walking around. They look like little ants almost walking. You're so high up. But definitely a sight. You can see the valley around you. You can see the forest, which stretches almost as far as you can see. It's broken up by what you guys both know to be the actual river farther down. There's a major river that runs close to town. I don't remember the name right now. I think it's the River Soul, but don't quote me. It does exist. So it's farther down, but you can see the breakup in the wooded area where it is. There's also a nearby town that you guys can actually see the clearing for, not too far from you guys. You've never... Now, Seamus, you would never have seen this because it didn't exist the last time you were here. Marius, you've heard of this smaller town that's kind of sprung up, but you've never been to it. It sprung up in the meantime after the war was completed. A small, almost like a logging town, kind of like a small outpost for woodcutters has kind of popped up, not too far from Sealburg, but you can see the clearing out there. It's a few miles away. But you can see the clearing from where you're angled at. So you guys see this. Are you continuing further up?
Yeah, if I believe that's where the trail is taking us, or
Okay. Yeah, the trail is still going further up, but I mean, you guys are looking for a hidden door of some kind. From what Brandyfoot said.
Okay.
So from here on, make me another perception check.
What time of day is it?
So it is afternoon. Probably 4 or 5-ish at this point.
Okay.
So you're starting. You still have plenty of daylight. For now, you at least have a few hours of daylight left.
Is it just straight perception?
I'll give him an advantage if I can.
Yeah, if he's aiding you, it'll be plus 10 still.
Okay. It was a 47.
Okay, so that is
Another one, probably another 1 degree.
It's one. Is it 1 degree or 2? This is important.
If it's out of 61.
47, 56. Yeah, so 1 degree. All right. So you begin climbing again. You get about 20, 30 minutes up to this climb. And Seamus, you're still in the lead. The air is starting to get a little thin. That's how high up you are. But you start to hear something. You hear a little like skittering noises from up ahead. It looks like there's a steep climb right ahead of you, and then at the top there's almost like a rock shelf that juts out, and you're hearing noises from on top of the shelf. You hear some skittering back and forth. You get the idea that there's something moving up there.
I'll turn around and relay that information to Marius.
All right. Kind of crouch down. See if I can hear it.
Okay. With him pointing it out, you can kind of hear it too. You kind of hear the like a little just cleaning noises. You're not exactly sure what it is, and like some high pitched, almost like squealing. It's not really loud. It's kind of muffled, but you can definitely hear it, and it sounds like more than one creature or something up there. You're not sure.
Could be greenskins, Seamus.
Do you want to throw a rock up there and see what happens?
Oh, gee.
I'd hate to be walking into a nest or something.
Yeah, I guess that's an option. I guess let's get the old weapons ready, and I gotta lay down my pack, because I'm assuming I'm carrying like my tent and everything, and
yeah,
and kind of like a pack or something. So kind of lay that down.
So
I still have my knapsack on my body.
You still have your knapsack. Okay. So what is is your pack just like your bedroll and like the tent?
Yeah, I've got a spade, a pan, my tent, and my bedroll.
Okay.
So I assume that's kind of like.
Yeah. So you lay that down where you're at. Are you guys going to try to stealth up there? What's the plan?
You said it's like a steep climb. Are we being like hand and foot climbing up?
It's not hand and foot, but it is steep enough that it's limited enough where you both probably can't do it at the same time. It's going to be one at a time.
Okay.
From this angle, if you guys want to try to scout out around, you can. From where you're at, though, you only see the one way up. You can choose to move around. It's up to you.
Maybe I can scout around and see if there's another way.
That's fine with me, friend.
Are you
staying
together?
I'll leave that up to you, Marius. If you want to stay here, you want to come with me.
All right. Well, I'll probably come with him.
Okay. All right. So you can
stick together.
Yeah. So you can see from where you're at. It's kind of off to the left a little bit from the direction you guys were coming up the mountain, but you can't go to your right. It's too much of a cliff face. It's too straight up for you to possibly try to maneuver around that way. So your best bet is going to be to go under the outcropping and possibly see if there's something you can get a hold of on the other side. Are you guys trying to remain hidden from whatever the source of this noise is?
Yes, I would say so.
Yes.
Okay, make me stealth checks. Now, Marius, because you have Rocky Strider, I'll give you advantage, so you'll get plus 20.
Okay. That would be. Let's see. I got a 40 out of 46.
Okay,
my
good.
stealth with the plus 20.
All right, how about you, Seamus?
If it's just a straight roll, I got a 34 out of 27.
Yes. Oh, yes. So, Seamus is still leading. You guys are being careful. Marius, you're still kind of you're still kind of stuck behind him. You feel like you could probably move quicker than him, but you're both crouched down, and you go to move under the rock bend, and you both feel like you're pretty quiet. And Seamus, a rock just loosens under your foot and clatters down. It's not very loud. The chittering is still going on. You don't know if they heard you or not, but there's something up there, and it's moving, but there's more than one source of noise moving back and forth. So you continue, you freeze for a moment, and you're like, ugh! But nothing happens. You keep moving. You get from underneath the outcropping onto the other side, and there is a gradual slope on this side. It's much easier to maneuver. There's actually a few almost dead kind of short trees right here that somebody could possibly hold on to get better leverage to climb up. But it is an easier climb, and you both could probably go up at the same time if you'd like. You do still hear the chittering noise, and that is it. So what would you guys like to do?
All right, I'll look over to Marius and say, I think this is a good spot to go up. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, I will get weapons ready.
All right, you have the crossbow ready. You got the pick ready, Marius?
Yes, I do.
All right, pick is locked and ready to go. Who's taking the lead? Seamus, you still leading?
Yeah, I'll still lead.
Okay. So, I'm assuming you guys are almost side by side. Marius is just a couple steps behind you. You start to crest over the top of this outcropping, and your head kind of pokes over the top. And just real quick, make me a perception check.
Shoot. Burning another fortune point.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, much better. This is apparently a 50 out of 51.
Whew, man, barely made that one. Okay. Okay. So, quickly you poke your head up and you get a decent view of what's happening. There are let me see here what you see with just a basic test. You see 4 individuals. They're kind of short. They look to be probably about Thordum's size, 4.5 feet tall or so. Really gangly, thin. But the most obvious thing is the lime green skin that you see wafting out from underneath these really matted, disgusting black cloaks that are kind of draped over them, and they're kind of squeaking to each other, mine, and they're squabbling back and forth, and they're over something. It looks to be a body or something, and there's a couple more bodies laid around this clearing that you can see in this quick instance. Now, as soon as you poke your head over and you see them, you see there is 3 of them that are kind of squabbling over the corpse of something. You're not exactly sure what it is. And then you see another one who seems to be a little bit taller. He's wearing a large, pointy hat underneath his cloak, and he's got some kind of not exactly a monocle. It looks like some glass that has been modified with primitive techniques to make a binoculars, He's got those over his eyes, kind of looking around aimlessly, and it responds to the chittering. No! Shiny's mine! Shiny's goblin, mine! And he walks over and he kicks one of the other goblins, and he kind of shuffles over. And he's like, ah! And they both squealing at each other. And he starts grabbing things off the corpse and shoving them down into his cloak. What are you doing at this moment?
Would I recognize what creatures they are?
You've seen goblins. These are obviously goblins of some kind. Though you've never seen some hooded like this, cloaked like this. But from judging from the shoddy spears that you see at most of their sides, and the really, really disgusting looking ratty sword that the one with the pointed hat is holding, that these are definitely goblins.
And Marius is still a little bit farther down.
Marius is just a couple steps behind you. This is just a quick little peek over for you guys to make a decision.
All right, I'll duck down, and I'll kind of gesture with my fingers, 4. And I kind of like mouth whisper four goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Marius nods. Grips his pick.
Right. And then I'm gonna pop my head back over, take a shot.
Okay, go ahead and roll initiative, you two.
All right. That's a D10? Or what's the initiative?
D10. D10 plus your initiative bonus.
All right. Ooh. That's going to be 11.
Oh, damn, dude. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 9.
That's good.
I got
all right.
+2.
Marius. All right. How about you, Seamus?
I one-upped him. I got a 12.
Holy shit.
I also rolled a 9.
All right. So, Seamus, as you move up with the crossbow at the ready, you're about to attempt to take your first shot. Another rock dislodges from under your feet from your piss poor stealth roll, and you do not get a surprise round. The rock loosens, and you hear the one with the like makeshift binoculars kind of and the binoculars fall out of his hand and smash on the ground. And he just points at you, and the other ones stand up at the ready, and they're all kind of clustered together at the moment. But you can go ahead and take your shot. You can, since they're all packed together, this is going to be your choice. You can either just make a standard shot and pick one to shoot, or you can just give me a shot plus 40, and I'll just randomly decide who gets hit.
So a shot plus 40?
Yeah, but it's a random shot into this crowd of goblins because they're so clustered together.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay, go ahead and make me a roll.
All right. Is this the D10?
Excuse me?
Alongside doing combat. Is it a D10 with this roll?
No. Your D100. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done combat, hasn't it? Yeah, D100. It's going to be ballistic skill plus your crossbow proficiency.
Right. I rolled a 46 out of 53.
All right. So you definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me a D10, and this will decide who it hits.
All right. I rolled a 6.
Okay, 6. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So there are 4 goblins that you see. You just shoot in their direction. You clunk the crossbow. The bolt flies out And so that was that 1 degree of success or 2?
Was
that 1? 46
1.
out of...
Yeah.
It was 1 degree?
Yeah, it's a
okay.
1.
And you normally do 9 damage, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
9, so that'd be 10. All right. You strike... It was a 47, so let me make sure that's the right area. 74. Yes, okay. So they're out of the 4 goblins, 3 of them are holding spears. And then the one with the pointy hat has a sword, and he has like a makeshift kind of piece of, it's like the bottom of a barrel that he's using as a shield, strapped on his arm at this point. The sword looks like it's got these weird kind of edges cleaved into it, but he's holding it overhead. It's, and they start rushing towards you. They're moving in your direction, and the bolt flies past the one with the pointed head and hits the next one behind him, holding his spear clean in the chest. Just boom, straight in, and deals pretty good damage. Let's see here. 9 minus 6. Okay. All right, so you take one of the goblins in the chest, and he stumbles onto his knees. He still appears to be standing, but very hurt from the bolt. You do have the option to use your free action to either, call out orders, or you can use it to attempt to reload now if you'd like.
We'll do the reload.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a crossbow to reload.
55 just failed.
Just failed? Okay. So you still keep your momentum for your next attack, but you don't have time right now to slip in the bolt. You're gonna have to wait till your turn. So you're standing there. You are. I did forgot to tell you this. You are 20 feet from these goblins, so you are very close. Just so you know. Now it is your turn, Marius. You hear the and the squeal coming from above. You don't see anything yet. You're just below the crest of the outcropping, but you see Seamus take aim and shoot, and you hear the response of something gasping as it gets struck by the bolt.
I will take my pick and kind of secure my hat, and then I will,
of course,
secure my new hat here, and just kind of crest over the little. I kind of imagine it kind of being like a little bit of a hill, I guess, or a little bit of a.
It's a slight hill, so you crest over it, and you see the array of goblins that are now charging in your direction. And they didn't see you; they just saw Seamus, so they're a little surprised. But they were kind of aware that there were people here, so you don't get any advantages or anything. So you do make eye contact with him though, and the one in the lead, kind of his eyes go big, seeing this large man. Well, not really. To him, you're a large man wielding a pick. Crest this hill. And you do see one of them was taken in the chest with a bolt, and he's kind of hunched down on all fours. This outcropping is not very big. There's not a lot of room to maneuver. You have only about 10 feet to your left till you hit the cliff wall. And then you only have about 10 or 15 feet to your right, and then that is the edge of the outcropping, where it's just a sheer drop off the side down the rest of the mountain.
Okay, which is the
so the one in the lead is the goblin with the pointy hat and the sword and the shield. There's 3 with spears. One of them is a little bit farther back, who's been wounded, and so there's basically 3 goblins very close to you at this moment, probably within 20 feet.
All right, I'll charge towards the closest one with the pointy hat and the shield.
Yes. Are you for a charge? you will get plus 10 to your roll to attempt to take his head off.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm just gonna be yelling out, "Green skin filth!" and then just try to swing at him. So,
Yeah.
see how it goes. That's gonna be 39 out of 55 with the plus 10.
Okay.
I will say I get the damaging. thing
You
on my
do.
kick.
You do.
So I would
and
like to choose
it
9
does
success, please.
It does connect because he well, actually, you know what? Ooh, I forgot he has a shield.
It does.
Oh shit, hold on, let me make sure.
All right.
Hold on. No, his weapon skill is shit. Even with the shield, it's not enough.
I was about to say to beat 9 success.
So he it's 9 if you hit. Like it doesn't count until you hit, if that makes any sense. So he's like, ah, and he moves his shield up to very early, seeing you charge at him. He doesn't appear to be like afraid of you. If anything, he appears to be working himself up into some kind of frenzy. And the sword goes up and the shield moves to intercept the pick, and you easily see it coming. What was the number you rolled again?
39.
39.
I chose 9 success.
Yeah. 39. So it's 90. Holy shit. Okay. So you actually dip the pick down low. And let me see how much damage you do first before we even calculate what happens. So that's
I think
9.
it should be
what do you normally do before
9
bonuses?
9 plus 10.
Holy shit, 19.
Yeah.
Okay, well the pick comes down and you drop it below his upturned like barrel shield. It's very haphazardly put together. It probably would have shattered on impact anyway. But you go underneath the shield and you actually take him in the right hip with the pick. And you're Marius Wolf. You're strong as hell. You drive this and it takes the entire hip and leg off just in one clean sweep. You weren't expecting it. It just pops off and the thing, the goblin just goes, ah! And there's just blood, like this brackish blood spraying all over the place as he falls at your feet, kind of writhing around in the process of dying. It's like, ah! Ah! And then the other ones seeing this are horrified. Just, ah! at their boss just went down, and they're not looking too good. But would you like to do anything else?
I can't make an intimidation roll, can I?
No, that would be your next turn to make an intimidation roll. Now you can say something though. I mean, you can do whatever.
I'm gonna pull out a classic. What now, you piece of filth? And
oh shit! And they're just like, and you can still they're on the fence as of what they're about to do. Their boss is still laying there bleeding out at your feet. And that is the end of your turn. So now, since you guys are not the most perceptive this time, Seamus, off to your left, around the side of the hill, you hear some more clattering, especially after the sound of the goblin being ripped to pieces up ahead of you. It's a grisly sight. It's horrifying. The strength of Marius Wolf at work. The leg is still attached to the pick as well. It's just kind of like sloughed on it. But it's pretty grisly trophy at this point. Off to your left, Seamus, you hear rustling nearby, and you're and then you glance over to your left, and you see 3 goblins cresting around the corner of the mountain, each of them with short bows made of like shoddy black wood, and they each pull an arrow out and take aim.
Oh god. Shit.
Okay. Oh god, they're fucking goblins. Okay, so 3 arrows get loosed at you in your direction, and you're caught off guard. You're just, as you glance over. One of them just goes straight up in the air. It's just like he wasn't even aiming. He's like, ah! And it kind of flies straight up. The other one comes, and it's at least in your direction, but it hammers off way off the side of the mountain. Like a gust of wind catches it. It's gone. The third one, however, strikes true. Takes you in the right leg. You just, you take it right in the thigh.
Oh no.
Shit.
For +7. That's for 8 damage.
Damn.
You can subtract your toughness bonus, so it's 3, I believe, for you.
Yeah.
So you just take 3 wounds, but
Is
is
that for Maris or for me?
for you, Seamus, for you, Seamus.
My toughness bonus should be higher than 3.
Yeah, no, yours is 5, so
No,
you only
no.
take 3
5.
wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you only take 3 wounds, but I will also need you to make a endurance test.
All right. Oh, failed that. Roll an 80.
Oh, do you have a do you have a fortune point to re-roll it?
I have 1 fortune point left. I'll use it.
Use it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, much better. That is a 38.
Okay. So you feel a twinge as soon as the arrow enters. It hurts bad as it enters your body. Even though this is shoddily made, you feel it. It digs in decently deep into the meat of your right leg. You don't feel like it's impaired you, but you do feel a twinge. But you're made of sterner stuff, and you shake off anything that may have happened, possibly to someone of a lesser constitution. But regardless, so that happened, and that is the end of the 3 bow-wielding goblins that you guys didn't see. Now on to the rest of the goblins that are still alive. Let's see here. Where the fuck did my pen go? There it is. All right, the first one, Marius. Let's make a check to see if he pisses his pants. He pisses his pants completely. One of them is this one is holding a spear after seeing his boss just go down. He has like snot kind of running down his nose, and his eyes are real wide. And he's like, and he starts moving in the opposite direction from you. He's scared,
Okay.
and that because of
Get an
this,
opportunity attack.
no, he's not in range. You didn't close completely with them. They're just out of reach. They're goblins. Come on, man.
Lucky little guy.
Because he ran, it's going to be even harder for the rest of these to keep their cool. The next one, however, he also has a spear. He seems to be made of sterner stuff. Perhaps seeing the other Man-Filth get shot with the arrow kind of gave him a little more courage. And he just lunges at you with his little shoddy spear. Overheaded. I need you to either roll defense or dodge.
Oh, it's been so long since I've been able to roll a melee defense.
Yes.
Everything you've attacked me with has been large.
It's true.
Let me see here. I will do a melee defense.
Okay.
Can I use my 1 initiative or whatever?
You do have 1 thing of momentum on your side, so +10 to your roll.
Okay. That's going to be 16 out of 55.
Shit, how much success is that?
Almost 4.
Okay,
Technically
yeah.
3.
Okay, well,
It's 1 off.
his little spear comes at you, and it looks like it's aimed right for your chest. And he's ah! And he does like a little jump when he does it too, because he's short. And you easily bring the pick up and deflect it. He's like ah! And he's just and he kind of falls back on his back foot, just standing there, can't do anything. Because of that, the next one comes in. Yeah, he comes in. Oh yes. Oh, finally.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like this. The next goblin, very much in control of himself. He also has a little tiny shitty spear. Comes in and goes for your face.
My face?
He circles around to the right of the next one. And I need you to roll defense.
Okay.
With two things of advantage now.
Okay. That's going to be a 32 out of 65.
Normally, that would be plenty. But this goblin rolled a critical hit.
Oh, no.
So he rolled a 1. My first one I've ever rolled.
A 1?
Maximum damage.
Jesus.
Let's roll this crit table, boys. Let's roll it. All right.
Is it odd or even? Is it odd or even?
It's a critical hit, bro. It bypasses armor and
right.
toughness.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
When I rolled. Oh shit! You might have just died.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, take his head off.
Oh man. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I need to make sure I look up these conditions. Okay. First off, let's do the damage.
Okay.
You take 9 wounds. You just take 9 wounds as the spear careens towards your head, and it pierces underneath your left eye socket.
Jesus.
Shit.
It doesn't take your eye out, but you weren't expecting it. You just deflected the other spear.
Yeah.
It takes you under the eye, and you feel immediately the blood whelp up on that side of your face, and you are now suffering from 2 blinded conditions.
2 blinded conditions.
2 blinded conditions. Just so you know what that is.
Okay.
You have a minus. You are unable to see properly as long as you are blinded. You suffer a minus 10 for both of them. So you're a minus 20 for tests involving sight. Okay. Attacks against you gain an additional 10 to hit, and you remove a blinded condition at the end of every round. So at the end of this round, it would remove 1 blinded condition.
Okay.
Which is lucky for you because we are out of we just finished the round with that glorious thing happening. So you lose all your momentum. Yeah. You take a spear under the eye. Blinded. You still have 1 blinded condition, and it is actually your turn.
Oh, I thought it was Seamus. Seamus said that.
Oh, no, you're right. Seamus is first.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Seamus, you see one of the goblins bolt away from Marius after he takes out the goblin boss, and the other 2, seeming to be heartened by the pain that you just yelled in as a arrow pierced your thigh, jab with their little spears in his direction. One of them takes him. It looks like gets a good solid hit on him in the eye, and you hear him he kind of wail backwards. You do still have the ones with the arrows trained on you.
Seeing Marius get what I assume was probably hitting the eye. I'm going to focus my attention back to those goblins, and if I can, take a shot at the one that hit him.
At the ones that hit him? The ones he's engaged with?
Yes.
Okay, so
Because I'm assuming my friend just got his eye poked out.
okay, so the one that stabbed him is on the opposite side of him. It is going to be a very difficult shot.
Okay.
If you want to make it. The one next to him would be a better shot, but since he is engaged with him, it's going to be at -10 from the angle you're at, unless you would like to either move up onto the shelf or attempt to try to maneuver some other way.
Yeah, I'll move up onto the shelf of it.
Okay, so you get up, you hobble up onto the shelf with the arrow still sticking out of your leg. You have clear sights of the one on the right, the one that didn't stab him. The one that did stab him, he's still obscured by Marius himself. It's going to be a -10 to hit him if you still want to take the shot at him.
I'll do the one that's not obscured.
Okay, so it's just going to be a straight shot if you want to shoot at him, given the angle you're at now. Oh, but first you have to reload.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, definitely reloaded. 23.
Okay, so you easily shift the pullback, load the new bolt in. So go ahead and make your attack.
And I lost all of my momentum from taking that hit.
You did. You lost your momentum as soon as you got struck.
Oops. Okay. That is a 46.
Okay, how many degrees is that?
I think it's 1 degree again.
1
it's
degree?
Out of 53.
Okay. All right.
Another 10 points of damage.
10 points. And this was the... okay, so I did forget to mention, the one that ran away was the one that was wounded. So he's the one who kind of took off, just so you know. So that's 10 points of damage. So that's... Okay, so he's here. All right, so you take him, and it was a 49, you said?
46.
46. Okay, so you also, same thing, in the body shot this time. The bolt sails in, hits him hits the little goblin in the body, and he kind of flinches away and looks over at you. He looks a little nervous. Is that all you would like to do?
Yes, because I'm out of actions.
Yep. So you're just standing there now. You can see at the side of your line of sight off to your left now. You can see the goblins with the bows just salivating, looking in your direction now. A prime target. Marius, it is now your turn. You are currently there's still like blood welling up in your eye, and you're still blinded, technically, for the moment.
I would like to use one of my resolve points
to
remove the condition.
All right, easily done.
And then I will attack the person who hit me in my face.
You're not going to attack the wounded goblin? You're going to go for the one who hits you?
Nope, going to go for the one
that Okay. All right, go ahead and make a melee attack.
All right. Ooh, that's a 5 out of 45.
Okay, so 4 degrees of success. Holy shit. Is that 14 damage?
Yes, that'd be 14 damage.
How would you like to kill this goblin?
Oh, yeah!
Marius will touch his face and kind of like look at his hand and like shake in anger at the blood and just like dart his eyes down towards the little goblin who's kind of snickering there, I assume. And he just like full kind of like backhand with his pick and just slams it down right across his head and just caves.
like the flat of it?
Yeah, like just the flat of it.
Oh, yes.
Just crack it in.
So you channel your inner resolve and just easily the pain and your sight returns and your wound underneath your wounded eye, and you're just kind of in your anger. You purposely shift the pick over to where the actual piercing sides aren't going to hit him, and just smack him over the top of the head with this essentially just flat piece of iron. And the little goblin skull just he has this look in his eyes, all proud of himself. It's like and he and it just like explodes like a watermelon. Just brain matter just flies out the sides. Blood splatters across you. Some of the brains hits his friend, and his friend's like, he's wounded now and splattered with the blood and guts of his once companion, who's now dead.
Marius is just gonna scream, "I'm gonna kill all of you!"
Okay. I will take that into account.
Okay.
Against the goblins remaining. All right, it is now the goblins' turns. The 3 archers. Let's see if they. Oh, nope. They all steel themselves after Marius's threat. Unafraid. Goblins are cowardly creatures. They have distance from you. And after seeing you smash their friend's head, they wisely attack the one that they've already shot. 3 arrows in Seamus's direction. Let's see here. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh. One of them has advantage for hitting you. Oof, man. Okay, let me see.
Oh no.
Let's see here. What?
I don't like these groans in his bones.
Let's see what this happens. Okay, so Seamus, you as you're glancing over, you see them snickering. You see all 3 of them take aim again and loose a volley in your direction. One of them clatters at your feet. It just kind of skids. The arrow easily skids off. One of them takes you in the left shoulder. It's technically your chest, so you can use your armor against this. You have all your armor. Yes. So it takes you in the chest for 9 damage. Subtract your armor and your toughness.
Oh, damn it.
How much did you take?
I took 1 point because it just missed the...
Okay. Yeah. So you take 1 wound from that entering. Then the next arrow also slams you in the chest area for 10 damage. This was the one that had more advantage.
All right.
And I need you to make 2 endurance tests.
The first one's a 28.
Okay, easily enough.
The second one's a 44.
Oh, yeah, you also, your endurance is high as hell, so I don't expect any of these to do anything to you, but regardless, you feel once again that there's something just a little off about the arrows, and as they plunge into you through the armor, your new armor, and they even manage to find a gap in the chainmail you're wearing underneath, and still pierce the skin, though not as deep as the one in your leg. They're still sticking. You have 3 arrows sticking out of your body right now. And you're still standing. You're just So that is the end of the goblins' turns. Before the turn ends, seeing the dire straits that is unfolding ahead of them, they are going to attempt to run away. And so they are getting as much distance between you and them as possible after they loose their volley. You kind of hear them snickering to each other, and then they kind of start taking off. Now it is the remaining goblins with spears left. One of them was running away, and he looks back over his shoulder just in time to see Marius squish one of the other goblins' heads like a Jackson Pollock painting. And he, and in the horror he was already experiencing, just and just take at a full run. And let's see if he has. Oh, he doesn't have his wits about him. He's so frightened that he runs off of the cliff edge. He's, as he's looking back to you, and just you hear him. you hear a lump hit down below somewhere. At this, the one that that Seamus shot with the bolt is kind of he's damaged, and he's like, and he also loses his shit, and he goes to run away. Marius, you have an opportunity to strike him.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
That's a 31 out of 55.
Okay, so he has the broken condition, so he can't defend himself. You actually had more. I think you get a plus 20 to hit him anyway. So it's not going to matter. The damage is so significant. How would you like to kill this goblin?
I would just, I guess, kind of like just to take the pick, sharp end, and just like swing it from the side and just kind of get him in like underneath his ribs, like kind of underneath his little armpits there.
And there's still a leg attached to your pick. Do you hit him with that side like a shish kebab?
Shit. Yes, exactly like a shish kebab.
Yeah, and you swing as he goes to run. And do you say anything cool?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, well, it's just red with fury and anger. It's more
red with anger.
And you take him under the ribs, and you feel the pick easily slide through the pathetic semblance of armor that this goblin's wearing, and it just kind of and it squeaks its last as the pick goes up, pierces through both lungs and the heart, and you have a goblin shish kebab on the side of your pick. Just dangling there as they are dead. We are currently now out of combat officially since the other goblins ran away, but that would be the end of the round. Technically it is your turn, Seamus. We're still in initiative unless you decide otherwise.
I'm going to look over to Marius and say, Marius, take a look. I actually took some damage this time around. It's not.
It's true. Marius is still kind of calming down. It's like, I can't believe it. You know. Are the other goblins still in sight?
Seamus, you can see them. They are cresting around the side of the mountain. They're about to be out of sight.
I was gonna look at Seamus and just like point at one of them. For glory, my friend. Kind of encouraging him to take a shot.
I'm running low on bolts, Marius. I don't know if I can get any back after this one.
Very well. How far is it? Distance-wise?
How far away are they?
Yeah, from
goblins are fast as hell, and they are good in this terrain. They are going to be, at this point, they are 80 feet away from you.
Ooh.
They are booking it. Yes.
If I was to take a goblin spear and throw it, would I be able to use my strength bonus of 5?
I mean, yeah, you can. You can take. You can attempt it.
Can I move my 40 feet and then take a goblin spear and chunk it?
Yeah, you could. You can attempt it.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay, go ahead. It's going to be ballistic skill. It's an improvised weapon. But yeah, just go ahead and roll. Let's see if it even hits.
Can I use my 2 initiatives?
Yeah. You still have your momentum. Yeah, you have momentum on your side right now.
So I kind of like grab a spear from one of the goblins that's off the ground, run my 40 feet with my Rocky Strider.
Yes.
And just try to like javelin throw a spear to try to get one of the goblins to run away. Let's see. So it's just regular ballistic skill, right?
Yeah, just a straight, because you don't have improvised weapons. So.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go. So the 53. That is a 48 out of 53.
I can't believe you hit him. Okay, so I did this before. I will actually consider this a javelin, even though I mean,
Okay.
a goblin spear is fucking.
It's a
tiny.
goblin spear.
It's a goblin
probably pretty
spear.
small, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a full size javelin, so it's going to be 2 plus your strength bonus, which is 5 if I remember
Which is
correctly.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
5,
7. So you and you rolled a 53. Is that correct?
Yeah. No, I rolled a 48 out of 53.
48. You rolled a 48, so that's 84. Okay, so
Yeah.
you actually take the most rear goblin. They're kind of laughing as they're running off, thinking they got the best of you, and you hurl this shitty goblin spear in their direction, and you take the most rear goblin in the left leg. And he and it goes straight through, and it's sticking out awkwardly. And because he's moving so quickly, he loses his balance and starts tumbling down the mountain and just rolls off the side into nothingness. The other two were like, and they're moving even faster than they were before. The two remaining, you've lost another goblin. He's also met his doom somewhere at the bottom.
I turn around. That could have been you, Seamus. That could have been you. And
So now we are officially out of combat.
yes.
All right. So I'm assuming you return to where Seamus is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I try to see if are the arrows sticking in him or.
Yes,
I know
they
some
are
stuck his armor.
in his
Definitely
body.
one stuck in my right leg.
Yeah, no, they are in his body. They penetrated, so they are in the skin. Here's the thing: you guys have never had to do this before.
Mm-hmm.
It requires a heal test to remove an arrow.
Mm.
You neither of you have the heal skill.
Nope.
So
I don't.
I'm going to
chose to
allow Marius, since you're a learned man now, you know.
Kind of.
I'm going to allow you to take it's intelligence for heal, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I'm going to allow you to take a intelligence test. You can either do this one of two ways. You can either rip that arrow out with your strength,
Oh.
or you can take a -10 intelligence test to try to remove it properly.
All right. I still got 2 fortune points left. I'll
Okay.
try the intelligence.
All right, go ahead.
It's a 17 out of 26.
Oh, you bastard. So,
Yeah.
which one do you want to take out? There's 3 of them.
I mean, I don't know if I'm guessing this right. I know he took 2 to the chest, but I know he's
Yes.
heavily armored in the chest, so I didn't.
He is.
Are they like as deep in as the one?
They're not as
the
deep
one on his
as
leg?
the one in his leg is deep. The other 2 they're in the flesh still. They're still going to require you, because of the nature of the barbing on the arrow, they're still going to require to be removed because they did sink in, just not as deep as the one in his leg.
And I'll probably focus on the leg first so he can at
Okay.
least get moving, I guess.
So, you've seen Sarah do this a couple times. Seamus, you've never seen Marius do any kind of medical practice. You're probably a little nervous. You're like, I guess just pull it quick, maybe. I don't know. And he wiggles it a little bit. It hurts. He's like, and then you're kind of prodding it, and then almost without you feeling it, Seamus, he deftly, with his dexterous, muscular fingers, manages to snap off the end and remove the majority of the arrow from your leg. since it was probably it wouldn't have been all the way through, so not snap off the end. He pulls it out without doing too much damage to your leg, essentially. So that's one arrow down. There's 2 more to go.
Jesus.
Meredith just ripped these ones out.
Are you sure?
Give me a swig of that ale and just ripped it out.
Okay. I'll give him. I'll get my little flask of Bugman's ale, and I'll reach for his.
So, are you going to fill a Are you going to fill a flask with Bugman's?
Yeah, I was going to fill a flask of Bugman's.
Okay, so you fill a flask. Transfer 3 uses of Bugman's over to a flask, just so you know, or make a note of it or something like that. So you hand it to Seamus. Seamus, you take a good swig.
Oh yeah.
Okay, make me a consume alcohol test at -20.
Uh, 43 out of the -20 would put it at 40.
Yes. Yes. Do you have any fortune left?
I think I have one.
Damn it!
Left, so I will spend that.
You can spend it to just pass. You don't have to re-roll. So you pass.
Yeah,
you don't get intoxicated, but you were still. Roll me a. Let me make sure. Let me look this up. I think it's a D10.
Yeah, I think it's a D10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a D10. Roll me a D10.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, nice.
9. Let me make sure I got this. There it is. A 9. If you were in combat, you may have lost consciousness for a second. You actually you don't feel a damn thing right now. You feel good. Matter of fact, you feel like you could probably go to sleep after. And it was so delicious, just gulping it down. It was some of the best ale you've ever had. But Marius, go ahead and make your strength checks.
It's okay. Just standard strength.
Standard strength check.
Okay. 22 out of 55.
Okay, that how many degrees of success is that? Is that
That's 3.
And
it's
it was
double,
a critical.
Though. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you got a critical. That man, I love it that you get a critical on this because you're actually going to do damage to Seamus pulling this out. So how many degrees of success was that?
That's 3 degrees of success.
All right, how strong are you again?
I'm strong as fuck. It's 55.
Yeah, so 5 plus that's 8. All right. So Seamus, you take I'll divide it. So you take 4 wounds that bypass everything, but both of the arrows are removed as he yanks them out, and you don't feel it because of the blood actually spurts out as he just yanks them. Yeah, you don't feel it because of the drink you just had, but you see blood just kind of spurt out, and you're like, oh shit, that probably shouldn't happen. And you feel yourself kind of lose a little bit of consciousness for a second. You're like, kind of blacking out, and then you're like, I'm okay, I guess. So yeah, there's that.
Gee.
So
I have.
Go ahead.
If I give him bandages, will that help him any? Or
if you give
bandages, that only for,
bandages,
bleeding effects.
That's an actual bleeding effect. This is just for
okay. Yeah.
He's not actually bleeding. You just for flair. Come on, man. Jesus.
How's Seamus looking? How's Seamus looking right now? Is he looking?
Yeah. How is Seamus looking right now?
Seamus is looking pretty pale, but he's feeling good right now.
He's feeling good. So that's all that matters. He feels good.
I'll give him one of the,
talking for him.
I'll give him one of the potions that
Sarah
gave me.
Okay, so he hands it to you.
Chase it with this, and I hand him the potion there.
I have to get fucking drunk on this mountain, mate.
So I'm assuming you just knock it back. You gain your toughness bonus
Oh, yeah.
and wounds back.
All right.
So I believe that's 5 wounds for you. Just for future reference, if you decide to ever leave an arrow in your body, you cannot heal a wound for each arrow stuck in your body. So it inhibits. You can leave it in, and if you leave it in for too long, we'll start rolling for infection. So it's good that you took them out. So yeah, they're out, and yeah. So you get your toughness bonus back. Now that we're completely out of combat, with the goblin fiasco that just happened, that was not supposed to go that way, but yeah, that happened. You guys both almost died in a little tiny goblin ambush. That's fine.
We did. Stab in the eye.
But yeah, Marius is still kind of bleeding from that eye a little bit, but it's okay. Your face is not completely ruined yet. It's fine.
Marius is not pleased.
Yeah, I'm sure. The goblin corpses, there's only 2 laying at your feet. The other ones got away. They would have to be searched for if you want to collect trophies from them. As you're looking around,
Cut off those ears.
okay, yeah, you get your knife out and or your dagger and start kind of removing ears. You can get 4 ears. One of them is really easy to do because the head was pulped into nothing, so the ears just kind of are just laying there.
Yeah.
Just kind of yank on them a little bit and they come up. But the other one, you got off of the boss who's bled out and died at this point. You can easily remove those. While you guys are looking, now that combat has ended, you're looking around. So what do you guys want to do first?
I guess they were like looting like a corpse, weren't they? They were.
They
looting,
were.
like, a body.
Okay. So what you guys see standing up here now that you've caught your breath, you've kind of calmed down after the events that just happened. There are 3 human corpses laying up here. Marius, they look kind of familiar in a way. They look old. They look like they've been here for a little while. Months have in fact passed. But they don't look that old. They don't look like they died 6 months ago. They look like they probably died maybe a week ago. They're starting to kind of burst a little bit. And now that you're up here, the smell is pretty horrible. And mingled with dead goblin, it's definitely get some potpourri of this before you go back down to Sealburg. But you can see that there's 3 corpses, and they're wearing a kind of strange garb. It looks very flowy, almost like robes, but there's pieces of wooden armor attached on the shoulders, and one of them has a breastplate made out of wood. Specifically, and this immediately sparks recognition in that body you found all those months ago. And you notice that several of these corpses have massive gaping holes in their bodies, just like the one you found. About the size of like a dinner plate, like a 1 foot circumference hole in their bodies. You could see the dirt through them. And it looks like the goblins were picking over these things, and it looked like they might have eaten a couple of them, like an arm's missing here, some toes, things like that. Looks like they've been camped around here somewhere nearby, and they've been kind of eating on these people. But looking at you, instantly have that recognition. Now, Seamus, something interesting happens to you as you're now standing up here. I need you to roll me a cool test.
All right. Cool. Failed. Rolled a 63 out of 39.
Okay, so you you know where the hell you are, and it hits you, and it's almost like a mental backlash. You look around and you've been here before. You've been up here. Something's not right. Something's not right. And suddenly your vision kind of blurs and you see a man. You see a few men, actually. One with a wide black brimmed hat, yelling at another figure. A very familiar looking person, though you can't place it. You're not sure who he is or what, but he seems important to you. And they're yelling back and forth. And another figure just kind of pushes past them into the cliff face that you're looking at, into what appears to be an open doorway. And men start shuffling in behind them, and then you fall in line. And then that's all you see, and you almost have like a little mini panic attack. Marius, you see Seamus kind of, as he's kind of glancing around at what's just unfolded in front of him.
Seamus, you're still here with me, my friend.
There's nothing. Just getting over these wounds is all.
All right.
Seamus, now that that happened, you look down towards the ground, and there is a hard to see trail of blood. But you have good eyesight, and after what just happened, you follow the trail with your eyes, and it leads into what appears to be a crack in the cliff face.
Is it big enough to squeeze into, or can I just see into it?
You can see into it, but it's not big enough to squeeze into. You could probably get your hands in there, though.
Right, I'll reach my hand in there.
Okay. Marius, you see Seamus kind of in a daze walk past you, and walk up to the cliff face, and he sticks his hand in this crack. What are you doing? Quickly before, do you want to loot the goblin corpses?
Yeah, I was just kind of see if they have any kind of coin pouches or something on them, you know, shinies.
Just real quick before most of this went down, make me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 32 out of 30. Damn.
Do you have any fortune left?
I do have 2 points of fortune left.
Well,
so
you
I'd like
use one to make this a success.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make one success, please.
All right. So you picking over the battlefield. This is real quick before any of this unfolded. You quickly you assume that the goblins whose head you crushed didn't have much on them, but you look over at the dead boss, and you could hear him talking about the shinies. So you reach down and you start fumbling around in his coat and his pockets, which is kind of gross because he's missing a leg and there's just blood everywhere. You start fumbling around in there, and you come out with 2 pouches come out of the inside of like his like disgusting robes. One pouch, you kind of jingle it next to your ear. Sounds like coins. You open it up.
Oh.
There are oddly shaped coins. They're round with square holes punched into them. You've never seen coins like this ever before, but they appear to be made out of lead. As you're looking at them,
okay.
it's like this strange. I mean, you're good with metal, so you can kind of judge what this is, and it's just very bizarre looking. It's a pouch full of lead coins with odd shapes carved into them. There's some kind of writing on it. You don't recognize any of it.
Okay.
The other pouch, you open it up, and it's some kind of powder. Not exactly sure what it is. You could make me a intelligence check if you'd like.
Sure, why not? We'll give it a try. Settling. Oh, that's bad. It's gonna be 87 out of 36.
You have no idea what this powder is. It's some kind of powder. I don't know. It's black. It's not gunpowder. You know what gunpowder smells like at this point. Explosives and whatnot. You have no idea what it does, though. It's a pouch full of powder.
Well, I'll probably just kind of secure both of them.
Okay. And then at this point, that's when Seamus walks past you in a daze, sticks his hands into the crack in the cliff face. Seamus, I need you to roll me. No, I'm just fucking with you. Seamus, your fingers instinctively clasp onto something inside. You wiggle them around, and then you hear a click. And the face of the wall begins shifting to the left. And suddenly there's a doorway in front of you as it slides seemingly on its own. You hear gear and mechanisms on the inside of the mountain itself clicking and clacking together as this sheer piece of like rock moves out of the way. And there's an open tunnel before you. And that's where we are going to end today's episode.
Oh, yeah. Whew. Nicely done.
Oh, man. You guys almost died.
We did.
A little goblin fight.
Goblin just devastated me.
It was supposed to be just a real quick little goblin fight. Nope.
Well, it started off, it was looking pretty positive, but then it started going downhill.
Well, that's what happens when goblins are pretty stealthy. I will give you that.
Yeah.
The ones with arrows were kind of they were off to the side doing something. You could have seen them, but you didn't roll high enough on your success levels for your perception.
Yeah.
You need one more success level and you would have seen them.
Yep.
But yeah. Sorry, man. It happens. You get turned into a human pincushion.
That's what it did. Maris is real impressed.
I am.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It finally got recorded. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. So I will be putting these out. Why don't we start doing this? What was your guys' favorite part of tonight's episode, if you had to pick one?
Maris's leather jack versus
versus the jerkin?
Yeah, the jerkin.
The supposed jerkin that doesn't exist. Sorry. My bad.
My favorite would probably be it's either the removal of the leg is pretty up there, but probably the lambasting of Mr. Gold by Seamus and I.
Yes, yes. It was. I will say you guys were pretty good in there. Some good, some good persuasion. Well, not really persuasion, intimidation rolls and things like
intimidation.
That. So, yeah, that went pretty good. Well, that rope is definitely going to hold up the first time you use it, though. I mean, it's going to work. It's going to work for you. Yeah, we'll see. Don't worry. I made a note about it just to make sure, so it's fine. It's fine. Just to document that you bought that fantastic piece of craftsmanship. Regardless, my favorite part was the goblins almost killing you two. I mean, that was a high point for me.
Sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. So, you guys killed a Beastman war boss with less effort than it was to survive this this goblin ambush. So yeah, that's awesome. And then we still have a whole cave to explore or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just imagine where this campaign would go if we got killed by goblins.
It's true. Exactly. Somebody would have had to come up here and find your corpses. It would have been great.
Yep.
Regardless, that's going to be it, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the campaign, all those listening. I had fun. Sounds like you guys had fun tonight. I'm glad that our technical difficulties were resolved this time. I think I've got that kind of ironed out, I hope. But we at least got this done. As a note to all of you that listen every week, next week I am going to be on vacation, so I won't be here to DM, unfortunately. So we will be doing the next episode of this 2 weeks from now. So we're going to skip a week, and then we'll pick it back up. So, yeah. With that, I have been Jumbo Thick. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It helps me out, helps this get around. And of course, I'd like to say thank you to my players, guys. You guys were awesome tonight. And yeah, can't wait to get back in it in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a good day.